What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. I know a lot of you probably did not join my live stream last night. Don't blame you. It's 3 hours long. So I wanted to make a separate video to talk about some of the highlights of the Prime 1 event for me personally. They definitely showed off a lot of stuff. Now, these events are 3 hours long. They probably show off maybe 20 new statues, plus some license announcements. What they also do is show off about 20 to 30 old statues. In addition, they have different artists giving like little interviews or talking about the piece, which I'm sure a lot of you out there probably like that. I personally, it's just fillers for me. All that is fillers, honestly. So I just don't care. I also don't care about seeing videos of older pieces, especially ones that are several years old. I don't mind if it's still in pre-order status and they show it off next to a person, not a promotional video. I think that's cool. Like seeing the dark side next to someone, I liked that. It showed how big that piece truly is and how amazing it is. So I did like that. But any just promotional videos, I'm not that big of a fan of. I know they're trying to sell their product, obviously. But 3 hours, in reality, they could probably put this down to an hour, hour and a half. Instead of having an hour and a half of filler episodes. But nevertheless, Prime 1 events are always very exciting. Definitely very exciting to see new reveals. And there was, at a minimum, 2 statues I am absolutely 100% buying. And another potential. So the number 1 statue that got me so excited, honestly, is probably this Nathan Drake, Uncharted 4. Now, I did recently play Uncharted 4, so it's like really fresh in my mind right now. And I think Prime 1 absolutely nailed it. They captured what Uncharted is. He's swinging or climbing on this sort of like pirate inspired themed base. Like a post there, and there is like a dead pirate there, you know, when he's hunting out Avery's treasure. It looks big. Nathan Drake looks awesome. They nailed the portrait, and it does have a few different portraits. It also has swap outs. So right here, he's holding a pistol. He also has just a hand like he's swinging to grab onto something else. So very reminiscent of the game because you do a lot of climbing and swinging. You know, you're a treasure hunter. And I think they did a beautiful job in capturing that. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. I love the base. I love the skeleton. It looks absolutely brilliant. So definitely a day 1 PO for me, and one of the final few video game statues that I really want for my collection. The other one I really wanted to see was Last of Us. Unfortunately, we did not see anything of Last of Us, neither 1 or 2. So that was disappointing, considering, they teased us in the last one. I'm also extremely surprised we have not seen another Dragon Ball Z statue. It's been 2 years since they announced and teased Frieza. And, Frieza is not a, complicated character. He's extremely simple. I don't understand why it's taking so long for a Frieza statue. That's absolutely mind-boggling. Now, they also did announce Elden Ring license, just the license announcement. They did not show anything. Now, I absolutely love Elden Ring. I had such a blast playing that game. I do wonder who they're going to do for this, because here's the thing. The main character is more or less you create him, so it's not like a definite look, although I think there is, on the art cover of the game, a look for the character they could do. They also could do a boss. However, most bosses are extremely big. So it will be interesting to see how they do Elden Ring statue, but I would definitely be interested. If it could fit with my Neo and Bloodborne, so I more or less have like a Souls garage shelf setup, I would definitely be interested in a Elden Ring. And they also announced Demon Souls as well. That statue was kind of interesting. I'm trying to see if I don't even know if I see it here. Let me go back a page, see if I can see it. Yeah, Demon Souls. So they announced the license at the last event. And here they showed off. Okay, so here's like, it's almost like you're fighting a boss. So I don't know what scale this is, but it looks like a boss fight. I wonder if they'll do a similar thing for Elden Ring. So if it's not 1/4 scale, I'm honestly not interested. So I that doesn't interest me, to be honest. They showed off a lot of Berserk and way too much Batman related content that it's just tiresome to see Batman after Batman after Batman. Like, how many versions of Batman do you freaking need? It's very tiresome. A lot of people in the chat agree, like, this is just ridiculous. There is so many amazing licenses out there. We don't need a 500th Batman statue. They got enough statues. Let's feed some other licenses, for goodness sakes. One statue that came with that honestly surprised me how much I liked it was this Vampirella. So I know nothing about Vampirella. I know she is from Dynamite Comics, and she, I believe, teams up with Red Sonja and Purgatory. This one is based off of like a art cover, I believe, for a comic, but I think they killed it. I really like this. They made her extremely sexy. Beautiful portrait. Love the flowing hair, the bats, the cup where she just drank some, and how she's like holding one of her hairs. I think they did a really good job on this. Very beautiful looking statue. They did show it next to Red Sonja as well, because it's kind of like meant to be a companion piece. So considering I own Red Sonja, I'm a little tempted on this. A sexy vampire. That's pretty cool. I do like that. So one thing that's kind of wild is the Final Fantasy. I mean, you could call it Final Fantasy 6. I call it Final Fantasy 3. But Final Fantasy 3, I guess, in the US. I think Final Fantasy 6 in Japan, where it originally released. So I played this game as a child, maybe when I was like 12 years old. So here it is. Quite big, looks to be maybe 30 inches tall, extremely intricate and detailed, but it's also $12,000. You heard me, $12,000. That is 2 Godzilla vs. Kong dioramas. 2. And in my opinion, Godzilla vs. Kong is a far more impressive and much bigger piece overall and more intricate than this. It makes me wonder if the licensors or the people issuing this out have said they want it to be that expensive, or it's just that expensive to get this, produce this. Now, this is like a highly detailed version of a very non-detailed video game. That's the thing. So they're more or less like making it up based off the general design. So, $12,000 though, plus shipping, which could be another $500. So this is now the most expensive statue Prime once produced. And it's only 1/6 scale, which is absolutely mind-boggling. I've never seen a 1/6 scale that expensive. Even 1/4, 1/3, nope, not 12,000. Life size, that's almost 2 life-size statues. Like life-size MRC Vegetas. So I don't see a single person pre-ordering this. And if you do pre-order it, you have way too much money and you like this game too much. That is just too expensive. I'm sorry. Prime 1 should just cancel this if they're trying to charge that much money. This will likely get canceled due to lack of interest. I'm sure there's people who want this, obviously, but no one's going to spend $12,000 on this. Not your average collector. Only like millionaires or people who make $500,000 a year and this is their favorite video game of all time are going to be buying this statue. Your average collector, let's say, makes $80,000 a year, is not going to be buying this statue. So I think the price is one of the biggest fails in the history of statues. $12,000 is ridiculous. This shouldn't be more than $3,000. So, huge fail, and will probably be canceled. Prime 1 should just cancel it right now. No one's paying that. They're out of their frickin' mind. So that's just wild. So they showed off Attack on Titan license, Ultraman, don't care. A lot of Transformers, not my stuff. This is definitely one of the statues I am interested in. Jill and Nemesis. So I absolutely love Prime 1 video game statues. I think they're amazing. And they absolutely killed it on that Jill portrait, especially that one right there. Absolutely love that, like, worried, concerned look of hers. Very good, especially for the scene choice of her, like, running away from Nemesis. There's also a zombie that was, like, cut in half, showing guts, still trying to come after her after it's been cut in half. And they also had a zombie dog, just not shown right here. So extremely, extremely cool. And it's not too wide, but it's definitely going to be deep. You know, you got a statue behind another statue. So it's definitely going to be very deep, which, you know, I hope it could fit on a garage shelf, and I hope I have space because I would love to get this. At a bare minimum, I think I could fit Jill in my collection. Not sure about Nemesis. And I think Jill could be on her own, especially since there's a zombie right there. And if you could buy the dog as well, you could also display the dog with her. But obviously, with Nemesis is the best option, because Nemesis is huge and super cool looking. So this is a maybe. It just depends on if I can fit it, honestly. Because I do have, obviously, Leon and Claire, who are both shipped to me en route. They're going on a garage shelf, and they're quite wide. So I would have to, like, scoot Kratos closer to Baldur, you know, which I have probably a good 10 inches I could spare. And if this isn't too wide, I could probably fit it. So that is a maybe for me. But I think they did an extremely good job. Then we come to the other absolute pre-order for me, which is the Witch King. So this is extremely impressive. Definitely very happy with how this turned out. I love the fell beast, the size, the overall look, that commanding presence. You know, the Nazgul is a big one fourth. It's like 27 inches tall, you know, quite wide, like I think like 19 inches wide, and it's big. And as you can see, the Morgul Lord is, you know, quite a bit bigger, both width and height. He looks to be at least maybe 33 inches tall and maybe 23, 24 inches wide. So it's going to be, you know, quite this space killer. But it's definitely the definite 1/4 scale Morgul Lord. Destroys the old Sideshow one. I do like the Sideshow being cloth, which is more accurate technically to the movie. But this one just overall looks much better, especially the pose and that base. The underbase is also like the Gates of Mordor, which is really cool. But just an absolutely fantastic looking piece. They killed it. So definitely a day one PO for me and one of the must-haves. They still have not teased or shown anything, though, for our two wizards of Lord of the Rings, Gandalf and Saruman. So I'm wondering if we're going to get those. I hope we do, considering they're two crucial key characters of the trilogy. So really hoping that we can get that. So they did also show off, well, they teased Harry Potter, although it looked very small, so I think it's probably going to be like a very small scale. Another big statue, one of the biggest, is this guy right here. So we got the City Hunter Predator 1/3 scale statue. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Yeah, they have a cut-off arm switch out, which is crazy. Not sure who would display that, but it's there. I think the portrait looks absolutely fantastic. Very glossy look. This is like a swap-out bust, which I hope they just sell the bust because I'd buy that. And it looks like it has 3 heads. Great-looking base. You know, arm cut off on the base, which is cool. Multiple weapon switch-outs. You know, it looks like he has multiple blades, like his wrist blades that go long or short. So this one looks absolutely fantastic. You know, look at the detail in that portrait. Super, super nice job. So this will no doubtably be $3,500. It'll be a perfect, you know, companion next to the Prime 1 Predator. I'm sure it will be 35 inches tall. So it's going to be an absolute beast of a piece. For me personally, it is a pass. I just don't feel the need to collect Predator 2. The only other Predator I want in my collection is Berserker Predator, so if Prime 1 makes that, I would get it. And considering Berserker Predator is quite a big Predator, I think it'd look fine overscaled in my collection, because these are overscaled compared to my other 1/3 Predators. So very, very impressive piece, no doubt. And I bet to the top of that is probably 40 inches. So definitely going to be a space hog. But this is a must-have for those die-hard Predator fans. So very, very cool. Definitely one of the highlights of the show. I would say another highlight for a lot of people is the Prime 1 Penguin. So obviously I don't collect comic-based Batman, but I would say this is probably one of the better pieces they did show off for those Batman collectors. So Penguin, who looks fantastic, like in the sewer type themed base, with Batman above, about to jump down and pounce on him. So very cool looking. That guy right there totally like changes his voice to try to sound cool the entire time. It's so obvious. So yeah, that's not for me, but pretty cool statue. They did show off an Aliens Fireteam Elite, which is the video game version statue. I did not care for that personally. I was just like, no interest. It looked funny, and I didn't care for that game. I thought it was very mediocre. Return to After an Hour. Another thing I really liked, honestly, was these Green Lantern and goodness, the yellow dude. I don't know much about Green Lantern outside of the movie. But very cool looking statues. Sinestro and Tri. There we go. So very cool looking. If I collected comic based, I would get that Green Lantern. That is super cool. That and Sinestro look very awesome. These are huge looking and the definite comic based version of these characters. So that was a great reveal for, you comic collectors out there. They teased some new Jurassic Park statues, but they all look kind of very small scaled, so not super interesting. They also did show off a new Megatron. I'm trying to find it. Sideswipe was revealed from Transformers 3, and also comes with like these little busts. So that was really cool. Not for me, but very cool looking. For Dark Side of the Moon statues. They also showed off a gigantic Godzilla, which is crazy. So look at this. 87 centimeters, so about 35 inches tall. So it's like as tall as my big chap. Look at that. That thing is huge. It still has a cool looking base, but obviously doesn't have like the giant buildings behind it. Very, very cool for those who just want Godzilla, like they don't care for Kong. Look at it next to the bust. They look great paired together. But it does look better having the bust displayed higher up like this. If you have the bust displayed lower, like same level, it won't look as good. But when you have it displayed like this, it looks fantastic. Very cool. Probably going to cost you $4,000. I still like the diorama better because I think, adding all the buildings and then Kong makes it better. But very cool looking nonetheless. So it is good to see a gigantic Godzilla finally, though. Because for the most part, they've all not been big enough. Yeah, let me show you actually Darkseid. Look how beastly that piece is, too. 43-inch tall behemoth. Super cool looking. He's definitely going to be an absolute beast. I absolutely love this Darkseid. Super freaking cool. And trying to find that Megatron. Really, this is the best place to look at, instead of trying to search through Facebook where it's all random, you just go here for the most part, you can find it all. Yeah, don't really care for that Bat Tank. Yeah, I am not seeing anyone posting Megatron. But it's Transformers 1 Megatron, or let's see right here. I do like this, although I think I prefer the overall look of, 2 and 3 better. They did more like of a diorama type base where he was frozen. But my personal favorite Megatron is Dark Side of the Moon. Back there on the right-hand side, I think that's the best looking Megatron. And then I'd probably say my Megatron from Transformers 2 and then this one. So this is my least favorite Megatron. Granted, he was toughest in Transformers 1. Transformers 2, he had some epic moments when he killed Optimus. Transformers 3, he was a weakling, but he looks the best. Although, I think I prefer the color of Transformers 2. I don't like that brown look as much, but I just love that base and the swap outs. So, not for me personally, but, you know, it's good to have all three versions of him, and I believe you kind of have all three versions of Optimus Prime as well, so you can pair them each up. Yeah, and for the most part, that's pretty much it, though, folks. So, a pretty cool overall event, but also kind of disappointing we didn't get to see Last of Us and Frieza, because I was really expecting that. You know, it's like, goodness, you know, Dragon Ball Z is such a huge license for them, and they've honestly been very disappointing so far, only having 2 statues in like 3 years. It's honestly pretty disappointing how, you know, maybe it's not Premon, maybe it's their collaboration, but come on, show us Frieza. So, you know, that's very disappointing. We probably won't see Frieza now till the next event, which is, what, 6 months away? Also, Last of Us, goodness, they really need to show that. You know, Last of Us is considered one of the best video games of all time. They really should have shown that. And we should have got more Lord of the Ring teasers. You know, we didn't see Boromir yet, even though they teased him last time. And they should have teased off at least another Lord of the Rings like Gandalf or Saruman. So definitely disappointing they didn't tease anything in Lord of the Rings. Overall, I'd say the show was a little disappointing, though. You know, I'm very happy I got to see Uncharted and Mortal Lord. Definitely love the Resident Evil 3. But outside of those 3, it's kind of disappointing for me personally. And I still am just baffled at that $12,000 price tag. Like, seriously? $12,000? Oh my gosh. 2 Godzilla vs. Kong dioramas. Jupiter's cock, what are they thinking? Ugh, they must have been drunk when they put that price together. Anyways, folks, that is it. Let me know what you guys think. What are you guys going to be picking up from this event? Like I said, for me, it's 2 guaranteed potential on Resident Evil 3. But, yeah. Anyways, that is it. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.